What's the time? Is this really the borderline? Does it really mean so much to you? Are you afraid? Or is it true? Dear friend, throw the wine. I'm in love with a friend of mine. Really, truly, young and newlywed. Are you a fool? Or is it true? Are you afraid? Or is it true? Hey friends, this is a guitar lesson for Dear Friend by Paul McCartney off the Wildlife album. It's a really beautiful song. Supposedly Paul wrote it to John Lennon. I don't know, there's some debate about that, but great song. We're going to get right into the lesson. Before I do that, I did want to make a plug. I'm not really a podcast person. I'm not that high tech. You might tell from the poor quality of these videos. But I was recently turned on to an excellent Paul McCartney podcast. It's called Take It Away, the Complete Paul McCartney Archive Collection. It's amazingly superb. I've learned so much from it. Two gentlemen, very knowledgeable, very insightful, very entertaining, very funny, very interesting, put on the podcast. And they go right from McCartney, right post-Beatles, solo Paul McCartney, all the way through really to Egypt Station. Usually a podcast covers one particular album with some surrounding time period, but it goes really deep. It goes into the album tracks, goes into the demos, the tracks that didn't make the record, goes into the instruments used, it goes into the musicians on the album, goes into the producers, the production, so much, some history, reviews of the music at the time. It's just tremendously rewarding. Assuming if you're watching this guitar lesson for Dear Friend off Wildlife, you must be a deep Paul McCartney fan to be watching this, and you're probably a musician. So I couldn't recommend it more strongly. I have absolutely nothing to do with the podcast. They didn't ask me to make a shout out, and I don't have that many subscribers, so it wouldn't matter anyway. I just wanted to, let anybody know as a service, I guess, that it exists, and it's so good. They also have a Facebook page if you want to like that as well. It's a closed group, but it's also wonderful. But the podcast itself is really superb. So I couldn't recommend it more strongly. And really, a lot of the inspiration from some of the lessons I'm posting is what I've heard on the podcast, because some of these songs off Wildlife and Red Rose Speedway, I had forgotten them or didn't really think that much of them, honestly, for a while. I rediscovered them through the podcast, re-listening to the albums, and now, some of these songs are just tremendous. There's some masterpieces, incredible lost Paul McCartney gems out there, and they're sprinkled on all these solo albums. So that's why I kind of focus on the lesser known songs for these lessons. I mean, there's a million lessons for Paul's well-known hits, so I figured maybe my little niche could be to post some of these lesser known songs. So I'm going to continue to do so for a while. We'll see how it goes. I really appreciate you watching the lessons. And again, assuming you're a deep Paul McCartney fan, give the podcast Take It Away, the Complete Paul McCartney Archive Collection. I think that's the official title, but you'll find it on the Take It Away podcast. Give that a try. I do not think you'll be disappointed. If you like anything that I'm posting, you're going to hear in-depth analysis and stories about each of these songs. So again, I couldn't recommend it more strongly. Now let's get to the lesson. Sorry about that introduction. I've never done that before, and I'll probably never do it again. Dear Friend is a piano song, as you know, if you're watching this. I don't think there's a guitar in the song. If there is, I can't hear it in the mix. But the song is in the key of C minor. So there's your C minor. I'm playing it just I find C minor a difficult chord to play a long time, and I want to play a bar the whole song. So I'm using a capo at the 3rd fret and playing with the shape of A minor, which is of course a C minor. So I'm gonna, for the lesson, I'm gonna just call it an A minor, but obviously I'm playing with a capo on the 3rd fret. And if you want to play the record, you either have to play in C minor or play the capo on the 3rd fret. With the A minor shape, and of course there's other voicings you could do as well, but this one works out pretty nicely. And I think it sounds a little like the piano, but again, I'm not trying to imitate anything, just kind of give it the feel. So let's go right into the lesson now. The guitar is in standard tuning, with the capo on the 3rd fret, and it begins the A minor. So it's really a descending bass run. It's an A to a G to an F, but the chords are A minor, a regular A minor. Then you add the G bass note, the 3rd fret, top string. I open the A minor to an A minor 7th. I just think it sounds a little better, but whatever you want to play there. It's a little easier to play too. I'm always looking for little cheats on the guitar. And then it goes, you drop another full step to an F, and I'm playing an F major 7th chord underneath. So again, chords A minor, regular A minor, to an A minor over G, A minor 7th over G, I guess technically, to an F major 7th, and you're going to add the F bass note on the top. I'm playing with my thumb. I don't know. That's the way I do it. So that's most of the verse. Are You Afraid part goes to a D minor. Are you afraid? And then I'm just opening up the 2nd string, playing open the B string. I'm not sure, it's a D minor variation of some sort. I'm not sure what it's called. And then it just goes back and resolves to an A minor. And that's really it. So I'll just do it one more time, and then we'll call it a lesson. So A minor. Dear friend. And add the G, F major 7th, repeat. Does it really mean so much to you? Are you a D minor? Then open the 2nd string, or is it true to A minor? And that's it. That is Dear Friend by Paul McCartney off the Wildlife album. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Have a great night.